Welcome back to the KIX 96.5 morning show. We love featuring artists you should know about, and today we're heading to Arkansas to chat with singer, songwriter, producer Cherise Carver. Cherise released her first Red Dirt country song in April of last year, and she hasn't stopped. 4 more singles, and last month she released an original Christmas song called A Man Made Out of Snow. We're excited to have Cherise Carver on the show. First, Cherise, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, Jeff. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing music your whole life. It said you released 3 albums throughout your career, but in 2021 or so, you decided to become a country artist. What happened?
Oh, sure. So I grew up singing country music. I was a singer before I was anything else. And then I was also in church choir, and I sang gospel music. So in the 90s, I did gospel music and made a couple of gospel albums in the 90s and one in 2009. But I always played the piano, and I never played the guitar. And so it was really hard. You can't strum a piano, obviously. So I was having trouble. I love country, and I was having trouble writing songs on the piano. So I always made that excuse, like, oh, if I only had a guitar player, you know. And a couple of years ago, I said, you know, that excuse has run its course, and there's only one way to solve this, and I'm going to have to pick up the guitar. So I did. I picked up a guitar. I took some lessons, and my boyfriend, who's also my producer, Chris Collins, he showed me about 4 chords. I think he went and took a shower. He came out, and I had written my first Red Dirt country song. They don't all happen that fast, but that one did. And, well, I thought it was terrible. There's a whole big story behind that, but I thought it was a terrible song. And he said, no, there's something to that. I said, oh, no, it's terrible. It's not a song. Anyway, it ended up being the first one we released called Get Back Home. And people always ask me, say, why did you not like that song? And I said, you know, it's not that I didn't like it. I think it's that I didn't want people to know that's how I really felt. And that was like this key moment to figure out that people want to connect with how we really feel about things sometimes. And I was shy about that. And so I went ahead and released that first song, and that started the whole thing. So I was glad that I just listened to him and said, okay, I'm just going to suck it up, and I'm going to tell people that I'm insecure, that I don't feel like I'm good enough, and I have no business doing this. And that was the song people connected with. So that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, wow. Well, and your music is really guitar-driven, too, which is crazy, because like you said, you didn't start it until you learned the guitar. So, yeah, when you listen to her stuff. You were born in Nashville, Arkansas.
Yeah.
You were born in the wrong Nashville, Cherise.
That was always kind of my joke. I was like, wait a minute, was I in the wrong Nashville? So it's interesting because I always wanted to do this, but, you know, life happens. And, you know, I was from a small town, and there weren't like a whole lot of opportunities to do music from a small town. So, but I dreamed of going to Nashville, Tennessee and doing the whole, you know, country music singer thing, but it just didn't happen. I went to college and played it safe. You know, I did my plan B instead of my plan A. And then as life went on, I had a son, and that made it a little more challenging to have a music career. But at this stage of my life, he is grown now and just graduated college. And I said, you know what, there's no time like the present. So I'm like the empty nester who's going full throttle music career.
Yeah, and if you go check her out, CheriseCarver.com, you can listen to her tunes right there. Guitars, Guns, and Bibles is kind of inspired by your hometown.
It definitely is, because it was a small town. It literally had one stoplight when I was growing up. I think there are 3 now, so they've really grown.
It's a metropolis now.
Exactly. It's a wonderful place to grow up. Go Scrappers. I'll give them a plug. But there weren't that many things to do, so I grew up around hunting. So, you know, I remember having a BB gun and then a BB gun / pellet gun. I was thinking about the things that you do in a small town. And so, you know, you start out with those, and you learn to hunt, and you sing, play music. Oh, there was always music around. And then we went to church. And so I was inspired by that song. I went to a gun range, and there was this on the wall, there was framed, it was a gun and a Bible, and it said, in case of emergency, break glass. And I thought, oh, what a hook, you know, but at that point it was just guitar and Bible. You know, I was thinking, oh, guitars and Bibles, guitars and Bibles. So a few days later, I was struggling trying to remember this hook. I was like, what was that hook? Was it guns and Bibles or guitars and Bibles? He said, put those 3 together. That was Chris. He said, why don't you put them all together? And I thought, I'm going to do that. And then I thought about my hometown, and then I just developed the story of Jesse Johnston and people helping each other and celebrating life together.
Yeah, it's a great tune. I think that was your second or third single?
That was my second single.
Yeah. So go check it out. Came out last year. There's a Nashville, Indiana, too. There must be Nashvilles all over the place. We've had a couple people from Indiana on. One lady was playing in Nashville, Indiana, which we thought was kind of funny, too. You're living in Rogers, Arkansas now, home of the first Walmart. So is everything there like Walmart related, Cherise?
Yes, it is. It's so funny. You've done your homework. Yes, it is. Everything is. It's Walton's or Walmart. Pretty much everything. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. Actually, I shouldn't tell you that. Everybody's moving here. We want them to stop because we don't want it to get too big. But it is like one of the top 10 places in the country to live.
Yeah, it's one of the fastest growing places in Arkansas. So it looks real nice by the Ozarks, but that's funny because I figured with the first Walmart, everything has to be Walmart related.
It is. Most things are. Well, we also have Tyson's and J.B. Hunt, so we've got three major corporations here. So a lot of growth and a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, go check her out, CheriseCarver.com. She's on Facebook, Instagram. Go and listen to all of her stuff. She's got a brand new Christmas single, A Man Made Out of Snow, is out now, and you're going to hear it here in a second. Well, first, you've won some amazing awards. You're up for this Texas State Songwriters Championship finale that's this Saturday. Tell us about this.
Yes, I'm super excited about that. We'll be going down there this weekend. It's going to be at Horace Hall in the Fort Worth Stockyards, and I'll be competing. There are 24 of us, I believe, and we'll be competing for the title. It's the season 9 finale show. So I'm just super excited to meet these songwriters. I don't think I know any of them. So we're going to have radio personalities there and promoters, I think interviewing us from like 6 to 7:45, and then we go on and play from 8 to 1 o'clock in the morning because 24 songwriters, and we get to do 2 songs each. So I'm not going to do anything I've released yet. It'll be like, surprise new stuff.
Oh, wow. So you got to go there and perform and then find out on Sunday who wins, or is it that night?
I think we're going to find out that night who wins. Yeah,
interesting.
But I think there are going to be a couple of prizes. I think they'll have like an audience vote, so people that buy tickets and come can vote. So there'll be a winner that way, and then they also have judges that'll be there. And I think the winners, there's some cash prizes, and then there'll be some opportunities to play, some concerts and things down in the Fort Worth Stockyards throughout next year if you win. So that's pretty cool.
I saw that the tickets are sold out, but I think you can stream it if you go check out Cherise's. I think it's Cherise Carver Music on Facebook. There's a link up there. You can watch it. You mentioned Chris. He's your producer. You guys own Crimson Road Studios together. He also plays. The guy plays all kinds of instruments. How did you two meet?
Oh my gosh, he'll die. You know what? He won't ever hear this. He'll die if I tell this story. We wasn't expecting this one, Jeff. We met online, the traditional way, right?
Oh, yes.
And it's been several years ago now, but we met on a dating app in 2014, and I didn't think he was real because he was good looking. He was in New Orleans, and here I'm in Arkansas. He was good looking, and he just seemed wonderful. And he knew all this music. It was like he was fake. It was like everything about him just fit me too perfectly. And I was like, this is this guy's catfishing me. Like, there's no way a guy in New Orleans that looks like this, that has this talent, that is so smart, would be talking to a woman in Arkansas. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I blocked him. Well, 2 years later, I go back on the site. I'd gotten off the site. I go back on the site. I set up a brand new profile, brand new handle, or whatever you want to call it. And I'll be daggum. There's an Arkansas term for you. I'll be daggum if he doesn't reach out to me again. And this time, when I read what he wrote, I literally had euphoria, and tears were streaming down my face. And I thought, well, maybe this guy's real. So I reached back out, and I said, look, if you're real, I want you to take a picture of yourself at the job he told me he had. Take a picture of yourself at your job, and you send it to me right now. And he did. And I was like, he's real. Oh, my gosh. So a few months later, he came to visit me, and a few months after that, he drove up in a U-Haul. So I really only physically met him one time. He was here for a few days before he then moved to Arkansas. And with him came all of his talent and his studio, and it just was like this perfect blend of two people coming together. So it's I don't think his family doesn't know that story. So unless they're listening, they still don't know.
that's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing it. Well, Chris, he's got a crazy background. He had like a huge EDM track.
My gosh, you have seriously done your homework. Yes, he has. He was in rock and roll and stuff too for a while. He's opened up for Cyndi Lauper and the Tubes, and he did like 30 years of traveling and doing all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he did, and I think he's had a commercial. Music in maybe it was an actor commercial years ago, but I don't think they got paid for it. I think they got swindled. But yeah, he's had some really cool stuff. He is a multi-instrumentalist. He can play pretty much anything. So he does. So now we have two guitar players we use. We use Jeff King out of Nashville, Tennessee, who is Reba McEntire's guitar player and Brooks and Dunn's guitar player, and he is amazing. We have our local guy who's amazing, Hunter Anderson, who played on A Man Made Out of Snow. So we have just two wonderful guitar players to choose from, and then pretty much everything else Chris will do, and then I played piano on A Man Made Out of Snow, but that's the first track that I actually played on so far that we've released. But I do play piano, but he plays piano, bass, drums, just pretty much can do stand-up bass. I mean, he's just super, super talented. I'm the primary songwriter, but he is always helping me. You've got that person where you're stuck and you're like, oh, I need a word, I need a phrase, and and then he helps me come up with that and contributes to the songwriting process. He just doesn't get the credit. That's what I tell him. I'm like, thanks for the help, man.
Exactly.
I said, but if I die, you'll get all those, all those royalties, right?
Yeah, all the millions we're bringing in. Yeah, he'll get them after that. Exactly. Well, it's crazy how life works, and both of you are. And I mean, now you're both doing, country songs.
His family was freaking out about that too. They're like, dude, never thought you'd be in country. They seem like they're wearing a cowboy hat up on stage, and they're just like, what is going on?
What's happened to my guy?
Yeah, and he doesn't have a country background at all, and so I'll mention like an old famous song. I'm like, oh, remember that song, whatever, and he's like, no. I'm like, oh yeah, I forget you didn't grow up listening to country music, but he just loves the red dirt stuff. He got hooked. Our local station here, 96.7 KXRD, he got hooked because he was listening to it in his car, at work every day. And about that time, I was picking up guitar, and that's when it came out. I mean, it kind of just fell out of us. Like I grew up in 90s country, and red dirt country is a little more traditional country, so that was just what I gravitated toward. And it just all kind of fell together between what he was enjoying and what I could just naturally write, and then I could then strum the guitar and not have to strum the piano. And there it was born. It just feels like it was just meant to be.
Yeah. Go and check her out. CheriseCarver.com. It's CHERISE. She's on Facebook. Cherise Carver Music. Go check out all of her stuff. You can go to her website. You can listen to everything right there. Earlier, we played That Ain't My Stuff. Is that a true story?
No, it's not a true story. But whenever I write, I see the video in my head, and that was one very vividly. I could tell you like exactly what that house looks like, and, where the kitchen is, and the bedroom, and the dress is like yellow, and the shoes are like little tiny size 5 blue shoes. I just see it when I'm writing. I see the imagery, and that helps me write. It's like I see the movie and I write the song kind of simultaneously. But it was not true. I was just thinking about, what a girl, how she would feel and what she could do to get back at him without, I don't know. Look, she broke the law a little bit. Funny thing about that is we've written a rebuttal to that song. It's for our local DJs here because they were making jokes. They said they feel like maybe she went into the wrong house. and they're like, we just had this feeling like maybe she went to the wrong house. And so we wrote the rebuttal. I've got a guy recording it. It's going to be called That Ain't My House. So the second verse and chorus is going to be That Ain't My House, and he's going to come in and be like, you went to the wrong house. Like, you're at my neighbor's home, and you're like breaking the law, and the cops are there. So we'll have a. If you want a copy of it, I'll send you one. But we're going to have a rebuttal song to That Ain't My Stuff.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's great. Well, you say you like. Are you playing solo, duo, trio? What do you like playing best? I mean, you like playing with somebody else? You like playing by yourself? What?
My favorite is the trio because it's so much easier when you've got other people with you, and it's fun, the energy, and then they sing harmony, and Hunter Anderson plays guitar, and then Chris plays bass with us on stage, and I think it's just so much fun with other people. But I've just recently started doing solo shows because, like I said, I was pretty new at guitar, and I just in the last few months got to the point where Chris he's like, okay, you're ready, you can go, you're free now, go play some solo shows. I was like, cool. So actually I've got 12 solo shows lined up this year in Fayetteville at a coffee house called 612 Coffee House and Bar, and I'll be playing there once a month, the first Tuesday of each month, and I'm so looking forward to this because it'll be focused on, singer, songwriter. I'll still do covers, but I'll do a lot of my originals. I'll try out new originals. It's a great way to do that and just connect with the audience and have some fun. I thought we might even write a song together live, in the coffee house. Just do something fun. So I'm looking forward to that being a whole different side of me, versus playing with the group. This will be a totally different experience for people.
Wow, that'd be cool to write a song right there as you're doing the show. That'll be something different. If you go to her website, CheriseCarver.com, go to her shows, and yeah, you can see the lineup in the 612 Coffee House and Bar. She's playing there in Fayetteville on Tuesday, January 2nd is her first one. Well, you mentioned songwriting. This new Man Made Out of Snow, you co-wrote this song with a writing student, Cynthia Clark. So what are you doing, Cherise? Do you have a class or what's going on?
Yeah, so the way it started was a couple of years ago, before I'd even released my first song, I started a Facebook group for people where we could come together and once a month, and on Zoom we play songs for each other and we critique each other just so we could get better. It was for songwriters. It's free and it's still out there. It's pitch ready listening sessions. You can join it and we get together once a month. So from this Zoom call and this Facebook group, I met all these amazing songwriters, and I decided to spend a lot of my time just trying to help others do what I was doing. And we have a studio and things like that. So at first I was totally donating all of my time to helping other songwriters flesh out songs. And Cynthia, she's a beautiful soul. She'd written a song for her, I think it was her great niece that had cancer, and she needed someone to help put the music to that. And I said, I'm going to do it. I've never done that. I'd never done that at that point for anybody else, taking their words and thrown music to it. And we did, and we produced it. We made a video, and we're trying to use it to raise money for cancer, for childhood cancer. So that's how we met, and it was from that group. And then I decided to do some songwriting coaching because people had shown an interest, and that was a way, too, for me to make money. So Cynthia came on as one of my first clients. We've been together now for probably going on a couple years. We actually wrote this a year ago together, and it's funny. It's not a true story because I went back to her too. It's been a year, and I've kind of forgotten that we were talking about releasing it and stuff. And I said, "Man, do you have cool grandpa memories? Because that'd be cool to put pictures out and stuff of the video." And because I couldn't remember if it was true or not, but it was not true. It was just this really cool idea that she had about the scarf and how when the snowman melts, all the snowman goes into the scarf, and it's grandpa's scarf, and that's the memories. And so the idea was hers, and we just worked together to craft the lyrics, and then I put the music to it, and we got our local guitar player on it, and Chris and me, and it was those four of us, together that came together and wrote it. But she's an amazing lyricist. And that's what I do. So I have other students that I work with, and I'm excited for Cynthia, and I hope she's listening because this is her very first song to get on the radio as a songwriter. That is super cool. It is an amazing feeling, and thank you for playing it because it gives me chills every time I hear one of my songs on the radio. I squeal like a little girl because I feel like it's the first. I'm serious. I take videos of myself. I literally will squeal because I never take it for granted. It is a gift to hear your music being shared with people and to make it on the radio. It's such a joy. So thank you for doing that for her and for me.
Oh, no problem. You're going to hear it in just a second. So, you keep pumping out singles. I imagine more's coming.
Oh, yes. Ooh, I got something cool happening. So in the first part of the year, not sure what month yet, but Nash Stanley is a Canadian country music singer. Check him out, guys. Oh, my goodness. He is amazing. One of his songs, I think it's around 150,000 streams now on Spotify. He's great. And a co-writer of mine, Tim Schleichner, we have gotten together, and Nash and I are going to do a duet. So most of my part's done, the music's done. I'm waiting for vocals to come back from him, and then I'll add harmonies, and we're going to put out my very first duet with this fabulous male country singer. So that's exciting. But Nash Stanley's awesome, and Tim Schleichner is a songwriting just guru. The dude writes songs weekly. He's throwing songs out on his Facebook page, so you could check him out too.
Wow. So Nash Stanley?
Yes, Nash Stanley.
Nash Stanley. Well, we'll go check him out.
He's on the chart too. He's on the American Country Music chart right now as well with, so their song is So Far, So Good. So I'll give them a plug too. That was Tim and Nash wrote that one together.
We'll go check it out. Right on. What are we doing for Christmas? We sticking around? We going somewhere?
Just sticking around. I've got a very, very simple holiday plans. It's just me and Chris, my son, and my mom that live here in Northwest Arkansas. And so we just get together and, I can literally whip up dinner in 45 minutes. I got it down. When it's a small family, you get it down, and then you have time to do whatever, like we might play cards or something, and just have some family time. But real simple, no drama at my house because there's just not enough of us to have drama.
That's the best holiday. Nice and relaxing. Go and check her out, Cherise Carver. She's at CheriseCarver.com, and lots more coming from Cherise. A Man Made Out of Snow. Here it is. Thanks so much, Cherise, for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, Jeff.
It's KIX 96.5.